Hey, I appreciate you stopping by, checking out the Pick Flip channel where we talk about video games, collectibles, and have fun doing so. So this time around, I went to a pawn shop that I really don't go to very often because it's a little ways out, and I stop by whenever I'm doing some errands in that way. So, sometimes I occasionally find some pretty good deals out there. This time I did find a couple games that maybe I just went a little bit overboard and just started buying, and I didn't really need all of them, but I already have a plan what I'm going to do with some of these games, but I did get a couple that I really am going to add to my collection, and others that I might probably be bundling for a sale that's coming pretty soon. So hopefully you guys stick around and watch some of the videos that are coming out, because I'm going to have a purge. I'm going to call it a purge of some games, quite a bit of them actually, in some consoles as well. So that being said, let's check out what I bought here at the pawn shop. So I'm glad I stopped by while I was in the area because I wanted to add some of these games to the collection, and most of them I'm not going to add, but I just couldn't help myself. I mean, they had, you know, bundles of games for $2 or $3 for 5 or 6 games. I mean, once you get into the mood of collecting, you start collecting. Do you guys also have that problem? Sometimes it happens, obviously. So that being said, I am going to bundle these games with consoles, because I do have some consoles I'm going to be selling, and I wanted to bulk up the sale a little bit by adding games and making it a little bit more a polished sale for any buyers out there. So let's take a look at some of these games that I purchased. Now I'm going to talk about the fillers real quick. The fillers, you know, that I'm going to be adding to the console. Some of these are actually pretty good games, but I just, you know, I'm not going to add them to my collection. I don't, you know, really care for them too much, but, you know, maybe the buyer who buys some of these consoles will. You know, like I said, I'm going to be purging. It's going to be going for a really good price. All right, so let's start. So real quick, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. A lot of people say that this is a pretty good Call of Duty. Haven't played it myself. The Walking Dead Survival Instinct. I've heard so-so reviews on this first-person shooter, but if you like The Walking Dead, this is something you might be interested in. And Halloween's coming along, so, you know, horror games are going to get popular. So BioShock Infinite comes with its manual and the game. BioShock Infinite, I actually enjoyed this game quite a bit. You know, it was just different than the aesthetics of having underwater gameplay. You know, having gameplay in the clouds, and it just kind of mind-boggled me whenever I started playing it. It looked real luscious, real, you know, ambitious, and with a sky hook and flying around and defeating your enemies. I really enjoyed this game, and in fact, you remember the song, the theme, I think it's called Within a Circle or A Perfect Circle, not the band, but there's something in the circle or something. There's this theme that's kind of like an old hymn. I was listening to it at work for a while because I just really enjoyed it. So BioShock Infinite's going to be there. The next one is Space Marines. I have never played any of these games, the Warhammer games. I know it's a tabletop game. A lot of people enjoy them. I've never jumped into it because I just don't know where to jump into it. There's so many games out there. Do I have to start from a certain one? Can you guys tell me? I don't know, which is a good Warhammer game to jump into. So let me know if you guys know. Tales from Borderlands, a Telltale game. So Telltale games, you know, they have several games. I played the ones for The Walking Dead on the Vita, and they're pretty cool, like choose your own pathway visual novel types. You know, I enjoyed it. I played episode 1 and you go through episode 2, but you know, Borderlands right there. Dance Central 3. Yeah, okay, next one, Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. You know what I'm really excited for? I've never been too much of a Borderlands guy. I do like the looter shooters, those, you know, like Destiny. That was pretty cool for a while. I was really into Destiny a lot, but I've since stopped. But as of this filming, I saw the PlayStation Showcase, and the PlayStation Showcase showed, what is it, Tiny Tina Warlords or Tiny Tina, that's going to be coming out, and that really piqued my interest. You know, this kind of Dungeons and Dragons with guns type of gameplay, like everything's colorful, like, you know, shooting sharks that are on land, and, you know, dragons with, you know, weapons, like not only magic but with guns. I mean, that looks pretty sick. It looks awesome, and that's something, who knows, maybe day one buy. I'm not too sure, but I'm thinking about it. So that's gonna be pretty cool. So yeah, Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. Let's see, Overlord. If you guys haven't played Overlord, I suggest you give it a shot if you like controlling your own. This is about controlling your own minions and trying to take over, like, you know, townsfolks and kingdoms and whatnot. I mean, there's some solid titles in here. You know, they're not all they're not all the Black Eyed Peas experience. You know, that they're not all that. So, but there's some decent games in here, and I got them for like $1 or $2 for like 5 or 6 games. So anyways, Call of Duty World at War. Cool. Crackdown 3, I heard that it wasn't too good. It's pretty much a cheap game, but this was also included in the bundle. I mean, I know they have prices there, but they were all bundled together for, like, you know, like I said, $3 for 5 games or something along those lines. So Crackdown 3, I know a lot of people were kind of disappointed with it. They wanted a really good Crackdown game, but it didn't live up to the hype. I'm not too sure why. I haven't played it just yet, but hey, you know, it's included here. So whoever buys this bundle later on with all the console and everything, and yes, I'm probably going to sell an Xbox One as well in this lot that I'm going to be selling. So anyways, I'll include that. Way the Samurai 3, I do have it for the PlayStation 3. So this is for the Xbox. My homeboy Gak Cognac talks about Way the Samurai quite a bit. And well, any type of ninja and samurai, he, you know, studied it actually. That, what is it called, Edo era, I'm not too sure, but he does, you know, when we talk about it, he's very knowledgeable on that, and he said this is a pretty good game. So I want to give this a shot on my PS3 eventually, but I do want to start with the first one, of course. I don't know if you have to play each one to really enjoy it or to respect what part 3 has to offer, but Way of the Samurai 3 part 2 is the one that you want to be looking at, because that's the one, if you go back to our previous video, we had spoken about it a little bit. Part 2 is the one that was a little bit harder to find and a little bit more expensive. So if you find it on the cheap, part 2 is the one that you want to be picking up. You want to add it to the collection on the cheap. So that's, yeah, that's Way of the Samurai 3. All right, so those are the Xbox games. Let's sit here, Pikachu. Those are the Xbox games that are part of the bundle. Other filler stuff here that are part of the bundle are, let's say, Wii games. Okay, the first one is Cabela's Dangerous Hunts 2011. I'm sure these are somewhat fun if you have, you know, like the correct, you know, peripheral weapons and stuff. I've never been too much into the Cabela hunts. There's one, I think it's Survival on the PS3, where it's a little bit more on the, not horror, but like a little bit more, you know what I mean? I'm trying to say, like, it's kind of, you know, anxiety inducing or whatnot, because, you know, you're fighting off bears, but were there monsters in there too? I don't know, it'd be cool. You know, Cabela, turn your games, try a spin-off, turn your games and add zombies or something like that and just do like a shooter. I mean, who knows, maybe you'll sell a little bit more copies said, but I'd play it, I'd try it out. But yeah, Cabela. All right, so one I am gonna keep is Knight's Journey Dreams, because I don't have this one just yet. It is broken on top of here, but you know, I have some games that you know, I'll probably just swap out the Cabela case, because I'm not gonna, you know, play this or keep it. So I'm gonna swap out this case. It does come with a manual. It's not a very expensive game, but I've heard some pretty cool things about Knights. Was it on Dreamcast that it came out with? Some of you guys will, I'm sure, will tell me in the comments, but Knights Journey of Dreams, supposed to be a nice platformer game. I do like platformer games, so can't wait to give this a shot and see how it plays. It's not a very expensive game, so you guys can pick it up pretty cheap. I think it's like 10-15 bucks, I believe, maybe even less. So I am going to keep this one. Now the next one is Code Lyoko. Code Lyoko, we used to watch the anime a long time ago on Toonami. You guys remember that? Code Lyoko it's a pretty cool like cartoon. I enjoyed it all. Living, like, playing in the game and whatnot, and they have powers there, so I picked it up for that reason. It's not a very expensive game. This one, so I'm kind of torn. I'm gonna play it. If I like it, I'll keep it. If I don't, I'll probably just toss it in a Wii bundle, because I am selling a Wii console, actually several Wii consoles. So yeah, that's going there. All right, on to the PS3. Call of Duty World at War, which is talked about that for the Xbox 360. Now this game, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, this is a really solid game. If you guys have not played it, jump on it. There's, you know, of course there's some, how can I say this, game mechanics that, you know, some glitches. There's nothing game breaking, I don't think, but from when I played it on the PS3, I had a really good time with it. Kingdoms of Amalur is just written by R.A. Salvatore. He's the one who writes Drizzt to Urden. If you guys ever read those books, if you haven't, check them out. I really recommend them. There's the Drow Elf, you know, that's maybe for another topic later on, but I really enjoy those books. So he wrote kind of some of the story about this, you know, Dungeons and Dragons oriented, and there was, I think, like a scandal at one point. But that being said, this is a pretty cool RPG type action adventure game. I really enjoy it. And they remade it for the PlayStation 4, and I picked up the collector's edition for it. So I want to play that eventually, but you know how it is with backlogs. Now there's a collector's edition for the PlayStation 3 that has like this troll statue thing that I've always wanted to pick up, and it's a pretty big statue, but it's kind of on the expensive side. So last time I checked, this was, you know, like maybe a year and a half ago, it was like maybe 300 bucks. So I need to see how it is now. Maybe I'll put it up here. I'll probably put a little picture of it up there, so that way you guys can see what I'm talking about. So Kingdoms of Amalur, I do recommend this quite a bit, the game, and it's on the cheap, but I already have it, so I'm going to include it with the PlayStation 3 bundle. The next game is Assassin's Creed 3. I don't know, hopefully you guys don't think anything bad of me, but Assassin's Creed games I just never really got into. I played the first one for a little while. I enjoyed it, I get it. You know, I get why people enjoy it and like it, and you know, being able to traverse these lands and kind of like stealthily kill people, and in the stories behind it. And if I jump into any of them, I want to jump into like maybe Black Flag, which is, I heard, is really well done. There's this channel I've been watching. If you guys, you know, he's low subscribers, like, you know, like myself. I appreciate you guys who are watching or subscribe to me. But there's a gentleman who has a channel called Games Beyond Time and Space. I think that's what it is. I'll leave his link down below as well. And he's basically creating like a list of the top 100 games that he plays, and he reviews them. And I've actually like jumped on 1 or 2 of them already, like Magica. Anyways, he mentions Black Flag and he really enjoys it, and he made me want to play it. So I'm gonna jump on that and try Black Flag. But Assassin's Creed 3 is gonna be put on the trade or sell pile. But let's segue with Assassins to the next game. Okay, so these are the games that I'm actually going to be keeping, aside from Knights. That one I need to put on this keep pile. But one of the games that came in the bundle that was like, you know, 3 games for $2 or whatever, was Prince of Persia Trilogy. The Prince of Persia Trilogy by Ubisoft. See the segue? Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed, Prince of Persia. I remember playing this a long time ago. I mean, remember when God of War was a thing on the PlayStation 2? Prince of Persia was there as well, alongside Kratos. And there were 2 big franchises that were, you know, pumping out games. So this is, you know, the Prince of Persia Trilogy on the PlayStation 3. This complete in box, like, it goes for roughly at least like $30, I believe. Disc only goes for about 15, maybe 20. So I'm going to add this to the collection. Maybe I can pick up the box and manual for, you know, cheap at one point. So this I'm going to keep. All right, so don't make fun of me, guys, but the next one I'm going to keep is Hooked Real Motion Fishing. Now, you know, this is one of those cheap games, right? You know, $5 game, $5 to $10, you know, probably even less if you find it locally. But you know, the thing is, it's made by Axis. You guys know Axis, pretty good fighting game. So that developer's pretty cool. I like fishing games. I like farming simulators, right? I like simulation games, and fishing is one of the ones that I kind of, you know, have in the back of my mind that I want to play a little bit more. So I want to jump into fishing games a little bit more. I know they're not like RPGs. It's not an MMO. You know, it's not an action adventure game. But sometimes you just want games that you want to kind of relax to, right? And have fun with. And that's why a lot of people like Mario Party. You know, you want to have fun with it. And I think I'd be able to like relax a little bit with this fishing game here. So I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to keep it. If it's a flat out fail, then I'll put it in the Wii bundle and I'll include it so, you know, someone else can maybe enjoy it. But I am kind of excited to try this one out. Anyone has like a specific fishing game that you guys recommend that's actually pretty good? Let me know. You know, I wouldn't mind trying it out. So that's Hooked. The next one is, you know, for $9 I was able to pick up the Disney classic games Aladdin and Lion King. This has gone on sale several times, but I never picked it up, and for $9 I was able to, you know, get it. So I think this is a pretty good deal, for, you know, $9. I remember playing Aladdin as a kid. I don't remember too much of Lion King. I'm sure I did, but I don't remember too much of Lion King. Aladdin, I played it a lot as a kid, so, you know, I'm kind of nostalgic for it a bit. And I remember just grabbing those in the very, I think it was in the very beginning, like grabbing those poles and climbing up, you know, the marketplace and finding, was it apples, I believe? Man, it's been a while since I played it. I believe there was like a real difficult part where you're flying on the carpet and dodging like fire. Correct me if you're wrong. You know, maybe this is just all made up because I'm trying to remember when I was a kid. But this is something I am going to keep for the collection. I think it was a pretty good price. So the last game that I was really surprised that it was a really good deal was Little Nightmares 2 for $8. I do have it for the PlayStation 4, and you guys go back to other videos. I picked it up for like $20. I think it was $20, and I passed it and I beat it. And this is something that me and my kids actually enjoy quite a bit playing together, because it's a horror game, right? It's a horror game that's kind of creepy, and it's got a different kind of story, and the soundtrack's pretty, you know, like it gets you in that ambience, and it's odd, you know, like, you know, there's the way that the characters are drawn, like the enemies are portrayed, you know, like it just, they look so odd and creepy and grotesque, you know, without being too gory, you know, without too many like guts and stuff like that. It just makes it look real creepy, kind of like, you know, Tim Burton-y a little bit, that we got drawn into it. And we passed the first game, we passed the second game, and I wanted it for the Switch for a while, but I was gonna wait for a deal at GameStop, like buy two 19.99 games, get like 30% off, something like that. But when I went in there, I saw Little Nightmares 2 for $8. I was like, cha-ching, hell yeah, I'm down. I'm going to get this game for sure. But as you guys can see, I just kept on buying and buying. But Little Nightmares 2, Little Nightmares period, I think it's one of those games that eventually, like 10 you know, years down the line, it's going to be a collectible game. I really believe so. Just like always, I do appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out the video, leaving a comment down below, and just taking your time just kind of you know, hear me talk about games. I just, you know, like you guys, I'm passionate about it, and I love going and finding some deals, even though I might have gone a little bit overboard. I did pay a total of like about $47 for all of this. I know it's a little bit steep for some of the stuff that I got, like the Dance Central and whatnot, but I mean, just if you go into GameStop, you go buy Little Nightmares 2, it's at least 20 if not 30. You know, the Prince of Persia is about 15 to 20. You know, the Disney Classics at least another 15. This Knights is another like 10. You know, there's the value's there. The value's there for what I bought, and I'm going to be able to, you know, sell this. I wanted to get the rest of this to sell it in a bundle with some consoles I'm going to be selling, so that way it can be just a little bit more beefier, and have for people who buy these consoles to have a little bit more to play than just buying a console itself. So that being said, guys, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching, and just keep an eye out because I'm going to be coming out with some more videos. Like I said, I've been kind of busy, so I'm going to try to do one at least every 2 weeks. And the one that's coming up next is probably going to be the one about me buying the rest of the collection from the last video. The gentleman who was selling his collection, I bought the rest of it off, so I want to show you guys what's in there. All right, guys, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have yourself a good one, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.